So before we jump into your latest and greatest creation, that book that you're kind of bringing out to the world, and we talk about that, for listeners that maybe aren't as familiar with you, can you maybe share a little bit about kind of who you are and kind of what keeps you up every day?
Well, thank you. I had the privilege of working with Rod Laver, Grand Slam champion Rod Laver, right out of college. And he really modeled for me proactive grace leadership. Is that he was a very hard worker, and no matter, he would be out running on the beach and people would stop him. I saw you play in St. Louis, and he was always gracious. And so it kind of sent me on a mission about how can we show up in life and in work and be this lovely balance of proactive. We get things done, we're productive, and we're also gracious. Seth Godin said, kindness has not left the building. And as leaders, I think we have a responsibility to set the precedent for kindness that sets up a ripple effect of respect.
Yeah. So how long have you been in this space of helping advise leaders, writing on a lot of these topics? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
I've had the privilege more than 20 years of speaking, writing, and consulting. So when I speak, it's for organizations like Intel, Accenture, Oracle, Asian Leadership Conference, U.S. Embassy in London. And when I write, it's books like Tung Fu. It's got your attention. It is Some Day Is Not a Day in the Week, about how to stop procrastinating and focus on what's important now. And then I also consult. So if an executive is working on a TEDx talk, or if an entrepreneur wants a new mission or message for the organization, I can help them come up with something that's one of a kind instead of one of many.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So now let's pivot to your latest and greatest creation. Tell us about the book. And I'd love to hear a little bit about kind of the not only the purpose of the book, but what inspired you to write it.
We're probably both familiar with Simon Sinek. Simon has made a difference for a lot of people with Start With Why. I find it's even more effective to start with where, because if we start with why, well, I wanted to make a difference for people. Everyone wants to do that. So that's generic. The genius is in start with where, because when we share where we begin to care, that's when people know where we're coming from, and that's when they begun to care. So here's my where story for the Talking on Eggshell book. I was doing a Tung Fu workshop, and a gentleman put his hand up and he said, I work for a lawyer who is very volatile. He's so demanding. He's so arrogant. He said the entire team tiptoes around this guy because we never know what's going to set him off. It's like we're walking on eggshells. It's just so stressful. I said, oh, you're not walking on eggshells. You're talking on eggshells, right? And I think we all have at least one person in that life, and we always worry we're going to say something wrong, and we don't know what to say right, and it is stressful. And so I wrote, what can we say and not say in those stressful situations that we face every day?